All right, happy Earth Day, everybody. Welcome to week 2 of the plank challenge. Um, so if you are joining in for the first time, I'm going to give you some pointers on the do's and don'ts of planks. 1, do have fun. 2, do breathe. And 3, do try your best to smile through it. Some don'ts are do not try and hurt yourself, and don't try and push yourself past your edge, meaning this is a recording. Take your time, breathe through things. If it starts hurting to a point where it feels not good, then stop, reset yourself, and start over again. Have fun, take your time. So for the second week of a plank challenge, you're gonna need a little pair of socks. Hopefully you have some kind of surface of the floor that's a little smooth that you can kind of slide your toes on. If you have a nice little yoga mat or something that you can put your hands down on to kind of soften and cushion yourself, go ahead and find that space. But when getting into any move, when you're coming down, you want to make sure that those beautiful hands are planted firmly on the surface. Spread your fingers out. You're going to want a nice flat back. So even if you're staying here and you want to keep yourself with the knees on the ground, you would cross your ankles, draw the toes up towards the ceiling, draw the navel in, and you're just going to pull your heart center up and over the fingertips. Keep the gaze down. So when I turn towards the camera, it's just to kind of guide and motivate you. But really you want to keep your head and your gaze down towards the mat. If you are coming to a full plank, you want to curl those beautiful toes, lift the body. Your feet are going to be about shoulders distance apart. Your hands are just underneath where the shoulders are. You're going to draw that navel in towards the lower back and keep those arms nice and strong and solid. So here's your nice strong plank. And there you are. So a few things that I would also suggest when moving into any kind of activity, you want to start rolling out the wrists, give them a little exercise as well. You can do this any time in the day. You can create a little bit of firelight, pump a little fire down into the toes by pumping those hands back and forth. And that'll give your wrists that necessary little exercise and break. You can roll them out. So for week 2's plank challenge, we've got a few fun things that we're going to do. So 1 minute, 5 minutes total, 5 little moves for 5 weeks. Our first challenge is a bear plank. Rawr. So bear with me. Ha, 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 ha. So again, we're going to place those palms down on the mat, fingertips spread. We want to roll the shoulder blades down, back through the spine. Make sure those beautiful feet are soft and on the mat. And we're just going to draw the navel in and slowly start hollowing that back. So naturally, you're drawing the pelvic floor upwards. And we're going to lift those knees about 3 inches off the mat. Sound fun? Sound good? So that's our first plank. Our second plank, we're going to keep those hands flat on the mat. Come into a full plank here. If you need to modify, you can always come down onto the forearms for some of these. Our second plank though, we're going to just tap our shoulders, slow and powerful. And with each movement, 1 breath, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You want to make sure that you're not rocking side to side too much throughout each movement. For our third movement, we're actually going to take a little breather. You'll put your cute little socks on, and you'll come to that smooth surface. So here's where you get a little breather. Again, you're going to place those hands flat on the surface. Roll the shoulders back, and we're going to slide those toes up, draw that navel in, and as we exhale, we're going to steam it through. Shh. 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 And inhale back through. So that's our third. Almost there. For our fourth plank, we're going to do something called an L side and an R side. So I like to come up into my plank first, and I like to roll over onto my side. So there's a few variations you can do here as well. No matter which one you choose, your goal is to really lift that hip up, reach the gaze up to the ceiling. So few variations. You can stay on the forearm, lift the hip, lift the arm. You can lift that leg up. Another variation, you can drop that knee, lift the hip up, lift the leg up. Or just come to your full roll over, lift the arm, keep that nice strong form, send that heart center out, and lift that leg if you want, flexing it. We'll do one side each, 30 seconds. After each, we're gonna come down and just modify to a little child's pose to counterbalance our moves. Our last move and our last plank, let me just make sure I even remember this one. All right, our last plank for week 2. Oh, wonderful, plank climbers. So, climb into your plank. Now there's a few variations for this as well. You can either bring the knees to the outsides of the elbows, again, one at a time, keeping a nice static movement here. Hips stay in line, stay even. If you want to add a little bit of spice, you can draw that knee into the inside of the opposite elbow. Again, if this is a little too much for your wrist, make little pillows, leave them down on your mat, and draw the knees in there. Draw that navel in. Are we ready? 5 minutes will go on the clock. Take a little sip, take a little breath, and we're gonna have some fun here. Let me get my clock rolling. All right, who's ready to plank it with me? All right, so again, we're gonna start with our bear planks. Get your socks ready. And starting the clock, palms down, knees come up, hollow the back, drop the chin slightly. Keep the breath flowing. Let's use that Ujjayi breath. So our Ujjayi breath, or oceanic breath, is where we seal the lips and breathe in through the nose and back out through the nostrils. If you imagine that you have a little mirror in front of your nose, you would be trying to steam it up as you exhale through the nose. We're more than halfway there. It's a beautiful Earth Day. The support here from Mother Earth below your hands and feet. Make sure those hands are flat. And time. See, already. Now rock yourself back onto the sit bones. Put the head down. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Slowly come back to tabletop. Extend one leg out at a time. Come back to your plank. Find your balance. So here we're going to do our little shoulder taps. Again, slow and powerful. I'm going to start the clock. And go. Inhale as you tap, exhale as you drop. Keep those hands underneath the shoulders. They have a tendency to want to reach out. We're halfway there. You can dance. Is this going to be our theme song for COVID dancing, the safety dance? Bad jokes today, kids. Almost there, 5 seconds to go. Hopefully you're smiling and breathing. Beautiful, drop those knees, come back to your child's pose. Big breath in and bring those cute little socks on your toes. Plank to pike. Find your smooth surface. I'll reset our clocks. Come up to plank. And let's go. Remember, we're going to steam it out. Halfway there. Keep the breath flowing. Almost there. Smile. Beautiful. Bring the knees down. Curl into your little child's pose. Awesome. Come back onto your mat. You can take your socks off or leave them on. I find a little more balance when they're off. I'm going to restart the clock. So we're going to come into our left and then right hip lift, side plank. So 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. I'll make sure to watch my clock. You guys ready? Come on to your plank, modify as needed, and let's go. Open that heart center up. Little HA, sound breath. Let that heart get juicy. Your leg is lifted, flex that foot, gaze up to the right middle finger here. Almost there, we're gonna switch over to the other side. And switch, I'll pause that. Oops. Carefully switch over. My phone does not want to stay on today. And let's come on to the other side. Lift, extend. Big sound breath. Lift those hips high. I'm going to go for a few more seconds. I lost about 10. Keep it rolling. Lift those hips even higher. You can do it. 3, 2, and 1. Gently come down. Roll over. Kick yourself back into your child's pose. Deep breath in. This is our last plank together for today. So our next plank is where we're going to touch our knees to our elbows. You can either go across or just go straight up and come into your plank. Maybe do half this way and then half using your obliques. Draw the navel in. Shoulders drawn back down through the spine. And adding that little bit of spice, use those obliques, cross, Connect the elbow to the opposite knee. Almost there. If you're shaking, it just reminds you how alive you truly are. Almost there. Keep breathing, keep loving the earth. Woohoo! Drop the knees, drop the head, roll out the wrists. Take 3 deep inhalations and exhalations. Ah, wonderful. Ah. And slowly rise. Thank you for joining in the 5-week plank challenge. We're on week 2. If you want to join in and start with week 1, don't hesitate to reach out to me directly, or you can follow my YouTube or Instagram pages for past plank challenges. Also, we are offering yoga and strength training daily. DM me for information. Namaste. Have a most blessed day and have fun today.